Again, everybody, it's Plowboy, Plowboy's Ghost Channel, and that's Plowboy with a Y. I'm going to show you something. I guess you can probably tell in the thumbnail what's going on. I've toted that 44 Special Bulldog for over somewhere between 6 and 7 years. I have to go back and look and see exactly what month I got it in, but somewhere between 6 and 7 years. It's been a constant companion on a lot of things. It's my shower gun, it's my bedside, closest one to grab gun, Crimson Trace laser grip on it, and all this other stuff. And I'd loaded up, matter of fact, back when I first got the gun, I loaded up 100 rounds of ammo for just, social work. 200 grain gold dots, over 7 grains of universal in a 44 special case, of course. And as of the other day, I still had 60 something, nearly 70 rounds of that. So it's been carried a heck of a lot and shot very little. What I have done is I had been considering, if you'll remember, I got rid of all things 44, 429 a good while back, and except for that Bulldog. I've just, after 30 something years of 44 Magnum, in quotation marks again, I let go of 44 Magnum for good. And I had been thinking along these lines for a while with that Bulldog, getting out of 44 completely. Well, I did it, and there is a 45 Colt chambered Charter Arms Bulldog, and this is XL. So if I had the 44 here beside it, you would see that it's not quite as tall this way, and the cylinder's not as wide, big a diameter as the 45 Colt model. But, you can kind of, you got nothing to compare it to there, but take my word for it. Side by side, there's a difference. There's only 3 ounces difference between them in weight, this being a little bit heavier. So it'll tell you that the frame's a little bit larger and the cylinder's a little bit wider. Of course, got bigger holes, and hole don't weigh nothing. So that kind of helps with that. Well, y'all, what did I discover right off the bat? I did a deal. The other's gone. This is brand new. First thing I noticed with my hand loads, and I may have had a high primer or two, just slightly high, because I ain't been cleaning my primer pockets on my brass. I'm going to start as a result of this. But I had some rotational drag with loaded rounds or the empties in there. When I'd go to do that, every now and then I'd have a case kind of dragging a spot or two. So naturally I look at the recoil shield and I see it has all kind of, just a little bit of a rough finish. So as you can tell, now not up here where the firing pin is and the actual, which would be the rear part of the chamber, essentially, set in headspace, you know what I mean. It's more of a critical dimension right up here at the top where the round's being fired. But I went ahead and went around it here and just kind of did a little polishing on it, smoothed it out all the way around except for up here. Took care of every bit of it. With the fresh rounds in it, it spins like crazy, so no problems with that. And I know it's, to have to do something to a brand new gun, like do a little bit of polishing on it so it'll rotate smooth. Now, like I said, the problem could be a high primer. It could be that, a head of a case or two is a little bit roughed up because some of them's been shot dozens of times. And it could be that it's just a little bit rough machining back here, not smooth finished. But, this don't cost as much as a Smith & Wesson does. I think that and I hear that Charter Arms has got probably better customer service, if you have a problem than Smith & Wesson does. I don't know it, but I've heard that from several people who have experience with it. But I don't mind doing a little bit of polishing on a sub $500 gun. It would bother me a little bit more if I had to do it on a $1,000 gun, and I have had to do it on a $1,000 gun before. So we'll get that out of the way. That don't concern me much. What does concern me is I still have a pocketable big bore 45 Colt double action. Now you get an idea of what it's like compared to my hands. Technically, I wear an extra large. Can't hold on to the gun. Extra large gloves, so you get an idea about the size of it. It is still relatively light. That's 22 ounces. That's pretty daggum light. No, I ain't shot it yet, but I'm going to very soon. We've had a whole lot going on lately, and I decided I'll just go ahead and show you this gun, discuss what I've done with it, and then I'll take you and we'll shoot it very soon. What I have done for ammo, and I've seen people shooting on video. I've seen people shooting some heavy stuff, and I've read people talk about shooting some heavy stuff. I wouldn't, if I shot anything above tier 1 in that gun, and I believe it will handle a little bit more than the top of tier 1, I wouldn't go very far into tier 2. So I'm going to keep it that way. But I didn't buy this to be a bear slaying cannon. I've got other things for that if I end up having problems with them, and so far so good, other than them Alabama Grizzlies jumping me every now and then. Cats are pretty mean when they're hungry too, but so far every gun I've had has been close to adequate for them. But what I put some cast bullets in it and toted it just a little bit. My 255 grain Lee over 8.2 grains of universal. But I went and picked up some Hornady Critical Defense. I know it's kind of heresy almost for me to have anything with a jacketed bullet. Yeah. This is just for social work. We're going to test that when we get out of the carport here in a few days. We're going to test the velocity out of this gun and do a little bit of accuracy test, maybe. Not a lot, because I'm not going to blow a lot of these rounds. I don't like buying commercial ammo. I don't like paying for it, because I start finding out what y'all are talking about. Oh, those are too expensive to shoot. Yeah, if you go in and buying ammo, but there's a reason I ain't been buying much factory-loaded ammo for many, many, many years. And that just reminds me of what that reason was. But we'll get out and shoot it just a little bit, not a lot, but I haven't put the Crimson Trace laser grip on it just yet, and I still have that for that other, from the Bulldog 44 Special. So I will probably set that off on there before too long. I'm going to see where it shoots in relation to the sights on it before I do that. And we'll see what the story is. If I can go without the Crimson Trace, I'd like to. But if it needs it, I'll put it on it and I'll sight it into that. So y'all, that's an XL Bulldog 45 Colt. I have done a little bit of swapping up here since my last video, which hasn't been that long ago. I'm now on 45 Colt number 9. This was not number 9. This was number 8. Number 9 I'll show y'all. We'll just say it's a little bit longer than this. I'll show y'all it before long too. Do a little bit more in depth on it to begin with, because I spent a lot more money on it. And lay all them 45 Colts out here one day. Y'all, that is my first double action revolver chambered in 45 Colt ever. I'm not really interested in the Smith & Wessons for some reason in 45 Colt. I might take a new re-release mountain gun in 45 Colt, because I do know they're coming. I expect that and the 41 mag to be at SHOT Show if they don't find a new variant on 10mm or 22 long rifle or something that they want to push a lot harder. Lockup on that's okay. It ain't great. There's a little bit of rotational play. It's pretty daggum good overall. But like I said, it's not a $1,000 gun. I expect it to hold up, and I expect it to shoot like the 44 Special it shot, which I'd said that I hadn't shot many of those Spear Gold Dots that I'd loaded up, back 6 years ago plus for that Bulldog 44 Special, and it might have gave the impression I ain't shot that gun much. But I have, I shoot I was shooting an RCBS 250 Keith, which actually weighs closer to 260 grain, that I cast and was loading it up over 7 grains of universal and shooting the hell out of it in that Bulldog 44 Special. And I've shot a lot of those, and those were an accurate load in that gun. And I have no doubt that if I'd have had need for it against an attacking white-tailed deer, it would have got the job done, maybe a little bit more. It's a heavy bullet, good shape bullet. So that's what I did. And we will get more in depth on it very soon. And I can just hear all of y'all in the background. That's junk. It's junk. Yeah. I got news for you. Like I've said in the past video, to you who's saying that, everything you own is junk too. Everything. you own his junk to someone on the internet. Remember that. Snobbery don't go very far. Talk to y'all later. Thanks for watching.